Hi, Claire. It's really nice to have you here with me today. I'd really love to just jump right in and share what we came here to discuss. I'd really like to start with is by saying thank you very much for offering to share your beautiful artwork to create a cover for my book. I feel like it just adds a beautiful dynamic energy and emotional quality that resonates deeply with what I intended for this book. And I wanted to start today by just asking you, why did you offer your artwork to support my book? What was your motivation? What was drawing you forward to make that offer?
Oh, well, thanks, Joe, and good to see you. Um, yeah, the the work that you're doing with Earth Regenerators, but I think the people that I saw connected in um, are. It's not just thinking about it. It's starting to try and imagine their way into this work and physically doing it, and that's something I was really interested in. And yeah, I've been following your work. Cultural evolution is just, and cultural development is something that has always driven me. And so to have more of that conversation and to be sort of feeling as if you were having the conversation that is so important to me was part of what, you know, immediately connected. There was no, um, it was a natural wanting to be part of what you were doing. So,
Yeah,
and to
I
be part
feel
of something that was bigger than myself.
I can feel that really well when I first saw the Earth dance that we're using as the cover for the book. That is just something deep and moving and riveting that for me was evocative of what I was hoping to convey about the state of the world that we're in right now. And I was wondering if you might just tell us a little bit about the Earth dance, the piece of artwork that we're using for the visual graphic. Like, what does it mean to you? What were you wanting to dress when you were making it? Just something about the artwork itself for Earth Dance.
Well, first of all, I just want to say it's really affirming when others recognize something that I'm putting into the work. And before we even go into that, just a lot of my work comes out of just playing with materials because I'm like visually attracted to the textures, the color, but movement is always really important to me as well. So besides the thinking that goes into it, it was just the play, and there needs to be kind of a responsiveness. So um, and systems thinking has always been an important part of, yeah, just everything is connected to everything else, and so understanding the world in that way. And dance is also another really important piece to me because there's never a right. It's always about responding, and there's a sort of rhythm and a flow, and there's kind of a beauty that kind of
Mm.
happens in that. And the dancing figures had sort of come out of this. I was doing a course with Rianne Eisler, and she was, the earth goddess, and looking at those symbols that had that connection to the earth. And she sent out this little gift that was these actual earth goddesses, and someone had turned them into these dancing figures, and it was just playful and cool, and that just kind of sparked that playfulness. But yeah, the circle, often I put the spiral in because there's a kind of learning and an evolving learning that goes through, and so symbolism is really important, and so that often gets integrated into um, how I think about my work. So
Yeah, I know when I saw this piece, what I was immediately drawn to was this feeling of a larger mother, like the sacred feminine or the earth mother, holding in her womb the dancing drama of human existence. And the color schemes that you chose for me were like looking into this dance of reds and oranges and yellows of it being like a crucible of fire. Like this is the fire of life and also the fire of possible death. That here we are in this critical time where we humans need to dance with our Earth Mother or the fire will go out and this will be the end of us. And yet there's this dynamism and beauty in the very existence of being alive. And for me, I just saw this as this is, when I looked at this piece, I was like, wow, this is what I see. And I can feel a connection to being a human with the sacred feminine all around us, and most of us being disconnected. And whereas in this piece, it was like those who were connected were dancing, which is one reason why for me it really resonates with the idea of being an earth regenerator. And this leads me to something that really um, evokes a weave between the work of one person and another, because I feel like I was in a deep creative process studying and gathering information and writing down my book. And so my book in a way is like a piece of art. And then you've done this other kind of art that's speaking to something similar and bigger. And what I wanted to just talk about briefly is, what does it mean to be in a creative process together with others when we're all focused on something bigger that's drawing us toward the same things?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. And creativity, there is no roadmap. And so you're always kind of pushing into the edge that you don't know. And you need to be there with other people. And when you're there with other people, you feel braver and you talk about it and stuff starts to come out and you don't realize there's this wisdom, this latent wisdom that you would never have discovered had you not pushed yourself into that place of the unknown. And so, yeah, I mean, when you speak about that, and I recognize that as well, as this, um, yeah, that creative process. And so some people will bring in the visual, but there's music and there's, the person who can actually make the fire and the food, the big pot of food that you would, that gets shared with everyone. But there's a kind of creativity in being there together, that, uh, and it's always in flow. Uh, and so you can't nail this to the wall and say that's it. It's kind of, and so in a way the other piece is that, the actual physical object isn't that precious. It's great to have something that you can show it, but in a way it's always evolving, and the process and the people are what's really important. So it's, the fact that what you were doing was ongoing, enabling, helping facilitate people to do this work is, anyway, that's part of that creative process. So
Yeah, for me, I felt like you had prepared this artwork and the creative process behind it in service to something that my work was also speaking to, without us knowing about it. We didn't know each other at the time, and what's really beautiful to me is to just get this opportunity to see your artwork helping mine to shine. And I'm hopeful that the people will come to appreciate the Earth Dance and the Earth Mother by seeing this book, and that more people will feel connected to the dance. And in that way, I just feel very blessed and very lucky to be in this unstated and invisible collaboration with you, to have your artwork come and meet mine, and for us to dance together in the fire for a little while. And I'm just so grateful to have your friendship now that we know each other, and to have your artwork standing as the front cover and as the first visual image people will see for my book. And just wanted to thank you so much for that, for offering it, and for the opportunity to connect with you in this way, where who knows, we might find new creative opportunities in the future, or other members of the Earth Regenerators community may as well. And I just wanted to thank you and really, give deference and honor to the work that you've done, and that you'll keep doing, that speaks so well to what we both care about.
well, likewise, Joe. Thank you. I just want to say one more thing is that sometimes this can be really lonely because, it's hard to find others who kind of just can speak that language. And, it just gives me so much joy when you find people who, can kind of, they validate you. So that's how I feel.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I also feel validated by you and seen by you, and it's deeply appreciated. So thank you so much. And thank you for making the time to make this short video with me today.
Thanks, Joe.